dad had a mantra. Jesus Christ is the biggest hoax ever perpetrated on mankind. Christians are idiots for having hope. Your life has less significance than the smallest speck of dust in this infinite universe. We were in an accident where another horse ran into my horse. She reared up, flipped over backwards with me on her back, and fell across my body. As she hit my chest, I immediately left my body. I was up 30, 40 feet in the air. I just left. I knew I was dead. And as I was up there, I noticed this light was shining over my shoulders, that it was illuminating everything in front of me. And I realized there was a person standing right there. And he moved forward, and I looked at him, and he looked at me, and it's like, oh, Jesus. Oh, hey. It's like, how you doing? I knew that I had known him my entire life. It was not a surprise. I was not shocked. I was not thinking, what is a nice Jewish girl like me seeing Jesus? Why am I seeing Jesus? No, I knew this man. I knew him. He was smiling at me. We were talking, and he very quickly showed me my life. I didn't have a whole lot to see because really and truly I was a good kid. I saw him from the time I was formed in my mother's womb. He had been with me. He had always been with me all my life. After this life review, and I was no longer really looking at the ground, he took my hand and we flew. We surfed. I didn't go through a tunnel. A lot of people, I've heard people say they went through a tunnel. No tunnel. It was like we had this wave of light under our feet, and I know my feet were bare because I could feel the wave of light under my feet. And it was pushing us forward, and we were holding hands and flying like Superman and Lois Lane. So faster and faster and faster, I saw a light, and it was getting closer and closer, and it's a living light, and it's the brightest thing you can imagine, but I could look at it, and you would think it would burn you, but it doesn't. It's perfect. It's blemishless. That light took up my entire field of vision. It was infinite in its scope, but it was alive, and that light was love. And Jesus took me directly into the light, and the next thing I knew, I found myself sitting on God's lap. And I have a granddaughter, a 2-year-old granddaughter. And, you know, if she needs comforting or she wants to be held, she'll sit on my lap and bury her face in my chest, and I'll put my arms around her, and she'll have her arms around me. That's what I was doing. I was like a little kid. I was sitting on God's lap, and I buried my face against his chest, and I put my arms around him, and he had his arms around me, and I never, ever wanted to leave. I didn't want to leave. I just wanted to sit there forever and be held by God. And I can't explain how God can be a light, and God can be a man, and God can be love. I can't explain it. I can't. But that's what I experienced.